Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Roast chicken, homemade mashed potatoes, and homemade gravy has been around for centuries. And I make it the exact same way my mom taught me years ago. And I guarantee you she probably made it the same way her mom taught her as well. I am shocked at how many people out there don't know how to make homemade gravy. They reach for the jar stuff on the shelf. That's nasty. No, we're going to give you the secret to a phenomenal gravy, so watch towards the end. Now, most people say that you should not rinse your chicken. I always have and I always do. You want to make sure that you remove the giblets from the cavity if there's any in there. And then we're going to pat it dry with a paper towel. So now that my hands are clean from any of the contamination from that bird, I can now season the bird. We're going to start with some Pam spray. This will keep the herbs sticking to the bird, and also we'll give it a little bit of a nice coating or a nice browning effect while it's baking. We'll start with a little kosher salt, and then we'll hit it with some Italian herbs. I like Spice Island. I'm going to come around the back side. And now we're going to hit it with some of this garlic powder. Nice and light, not too much. Sides, back. Same with the onion powder. Nice and light. Sides and back. Now we're going to get this bird into our baking dish here. And then wash our hands again. The light just went off. We're going to get this guy in the oven here. Now we're going to bake this at 20 minutes per pound. This particular bird is right about 5 pounds. So that's 100 minutes. So that's going to be about an hour and 40 minutes. The best way to tell when it's going to be done after you take it out of the oven is use your instant read meat thermometer. That breast has got to be at least 165 degrees. And let's clean that cutting board. As you can see, we're going to place it on a wet paper towel so it doesn't slide around. Now, about halfway through our cooking time, we're going to go ahead and get our potatoes peeled. I like to peel them into a large bowl for easier cleanup. I'm going to cut it in half, and then half again, and 2 more cuts. Place them in a pot, and we'll add some cold water until they're just covered. Next, we're going to add a couple 3-finger pinches of some salt. Get that heat on high, and we'll cover and bring to a simmer. When the potatoes start to boil, we're going to lower the heat to medium, medium-low, and crack the lid and let them cook for about 8 minutes. In the meantime, our chicken is done, the timer has gone off, and let's check that temperature. Now that's what I'm talking about, 175 degrees. I'm going to place a paper towel on my cutting board, and we're going to use our tongs and a glove to carefully pick up this bird, move it around to get it loose, and you want to pick it up and make sure you drain out those juices. And then we'll set it right on top of that paper towel. And we're going to move it out of the way and let it rest for at least 15 minutes. All right, let's check these potatoes here. I like to take one out and place it on the lid and see how much resistance it has. This one here has a little bit of resistance, so I don't think it's ready yet. It needs a little more time. Yeah, that's just not ready. 5 more minutes. Turn off that heat. The secret to this gravy is you want to use the potato water to make the gravy. So what I'm going to do is take paper towels, I'm going to crack the lid, and I'm going to hold the handles and the lid at the same time, and I'm going to pour the potato water into the pan where the chicken was baking. About 2 cups. The rest will just drain in the sink. Now to mash our spuds, we're going to start off with a nice heaping 3-finger pinch of some kosher salt, some fresh cracked pepper, a half a stick of butter, cut into 1 tablespoon slices. And we're going to add a little bit of whole milk and then start beating with our electric beater and add the milk as we go. Start on a slow speed to get them all going. And then go to high. A little more milk. A little more milk. And taste. Touch more salt. Man. That is awesome. Now at this point, you can go ahead and cover, and that'll stay warm for up to half an hour. Well, we're getting close to eating now. Let's make the gravy. Now, if you're using a metal baking pan, you can make the gravy in that same pan. I'm using a stone pan, so I can't really put this on a burner to make my gravy and boil it because it's going to crack it. So what I'm going to do is take a whisk and the potato water in there. I'm going to break all those bits loose from the bottom. And I'm going to pour it into this saucepan and turn the heat to high. And we're going to get this to a simmer. Now, while the gravy is coming to a boil, we're going to take a cup of cold water from the tap, and we're going to add a couple teaspoons or a couple tablespoons of some cornstarch to it to make our slurry. Maybe 2.5. We use that spoon to mix it up. This is going to thicken our gravy. Now that our gravy is boiling, we'll go ahead and make sure that the cornstarch on the bottom is stirred up. And we're going to add a little bit at a time until we get to the correct thickness we like. It has to be a rolling boil when you do this. Start with maybe a half a cup. We'll use a whisk. Let it start to thicken up. Not quite there. We're going to add a little more. Whisk. That's looking pretty good. Let's get a fresh spoon here and taste. A little more salt. Get another fresh spoon, taste again. Ready. Oh, I hope you checked out our knife sharpening video as well. Start, we're going to move in the thighs. Look at the juices in this bad boy. Move the breast, come right down the breastbone to one side. Right next to the wing, you want to come in and cut straight across to release the breast, and then cut down and around. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for cooking with me today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We have a lot more coming down the road. Until then, we'll see you next time.